Hi learners, it's glad to see you in Krishna's space. Today is the day 43 of our 300 days DSA journey. So it's time for our today's problem. Let's understand it. So today's problem is unique email addresses. And let's get through with the problem statement first, and then we are going to understand this problem. So this problem is saying every valid email consists of a local name and a domain name separated by the @ sign. Besides lowercase letters, the email may contain one or more dot, or I can say period or plus sign. For example, in allies@leetcode.com, allies is the local name and leetcode.com is the domain name. It is saying if you add periods means dot between some characters in the local name part of an email address, mail sent there will be forwarded to the same address without dots in the local name. Note that this rule does not apply to domain names. For example, allies.z@leetcode.com and allies@leetcode.com forward to the same email address. And if you add a plus in the local name, everything after the first plus sign will be ignored. This allows certain emails to be filtered. Note that this rule does not apply to domain names. For example, m.y plus name@email.com will be forwarded to my email@email.com. It is possible to use both of these rules at the same time. And it is saying that they have given an array of strings emails where we send one email to each emails of I, return the number of different addresses that actually receive mails. So this is the problem statement, and now let's understand this problem. So this problem is saying that every valid email consists of local name and a domain name. So as we can see, allies is our local name and leetcode.com will be our domain name because they are separated by @sign. But here we have two rules. First is period rule, in which we have to ignore period. As you can see in this example, they have ignored dot here. And when we get the symbol plus, then we have to remove all the characters after plus. So that's why here you can see there is no plus name in the forwarded email. And also they are saying there is a possibility of using both rules at the same time, and this is one of the example for it, because here you can see they have given dot, and because it is a dot so we have to ignore it, and thereafter we get plus sign, so we have to remove all the characters after the plus sign till @. So that's why it becomes my@email.com. So now let's get into the examples to understand it more clearly. So as we can see in the examples, we have given some emails. So let's see. The first email is test.email. So here dot has come. So if we are going to ignore it, so it will become test email plus Alex. So we are going to remove plus Alex here. So that means this email will become test email@leetcode.com. Now the second email is test dot. We are going to ignore it. Then E, then dot. Again we are going to ignore dot. So it will become test email plus. So after plus we are going to remove all the characters. So that means this email also became test email@leetcode.com. And the next email is test email plus. So we are going to remove all the characters after plus. So that means this email will become test email@lee.code.com. So that's why the output is 2, because only 2 emails are unique. Same in example 2. So here you can see all the 3 are different. So that's why they have written 3 here. So now let's get into the code to break down the logic behind it. As I said, in this solution we are going to get unique emails. And in the last video I have told that whenever we said unique, so we are going to use one of the data structure which is set. So that's why I have created a unique set here, and following that I have run a loop, and in that loop first I have created two variables, I and local. I will be the variable which will help us to traverse through a particular email, and in local we are going to add our local from email, and currently it is empty. So following that, again I have run a loop in which I am finding out if my present character is at the rate or a plus sign. If it is not a at the rate or plus sign, then we are going to get into this loop. Otherwise, we are going to ignore it or come out from this loop. So let's say we are not getting at the rate or plus symbol in the first run. So we will get into this loop, and first we are going to check if that particular character is dot or not. Let's say it is not, then we are going to add that character in our local, and if it is dot, then we are just going to ignore it by incrementing our I. But when we are going to get any of the sign at the rate or a plus, then we are going to come out from this loop. After coming out from this loop, we have our local now. So now we need a domain, and for that we need to know if my current character is at the rate or not. If it is not, then we are going to increment our I till my current character is at the rate. After getting the at the rate character, then we are going to put all the characters after at the rate into domain. And then we are going to add local and domain into our unique set, and then we are going to return the length of my unique set. So now let's take one email to understand it more clearly. So we can take email, and in the first run we are going to get t, which is not at the rate or plus, so that's why we are going to get into this while loop. And also it is not dot, so we are going to add t into local. Thereafter we are going to increment our I, and this process will going till we got dot. So when we got dot, we are just going to increment our I, and then we will get E. Again we are going to add it into our local, and this process will continue till we get plus sign. So in our local we will get test email, and after getting the plus sign we are going to come out from our loop. And after that we are going to check if my current character is at the rate or not, and as we know which is not, because this loop ends at the plus sign. So now my I will going to be increment till I get at the rate, and after that we are going to add all the characters after at the rate into domain, and then we are going to add local and domain into our unique set. How this solution solves this problem. If you guys have any other solution of it, do write it on comment, and thank you so much for watching this video and staying with me.